Hey boys and girls, today we're going to go over the final exam review. We're going to do part 1 today. So the first one, I already wrote out the WIC and the goal for all the problems. I'm just going to go through them and how to solve, okay? So for the first one, it says that Dan's Science Magazine has a mass of 256 and 674 thousandths grams. What is the mass of his magazine rounded to the nearest tenth, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to identify the tenths place. And this 7 is going to tell me what to do, okay? Now, if this 7 is 5 or more, I'm going to round up. If it's 4 or less, I'm going to let the 6 rest. 7 is 5 or more, so that means I'm going to add 1 to my 6, and everything after the 10th place is going to turn to 0. So 6 turns into a 7. Keep my decimal place the same. Everything on the left side stays the same. So which of these options is still 256 and 7/10? That's right, option C. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Rico's backpack weighed 3 6/10 pounds. Then he added his school books, which weighed an additional 24 and 76 hundredths pounds. How much did Rico's backpack weigh with his school books? And also we want to figure out the total here. So I'm going to add my decimals, 3 and 6/10. I'm going to line up my decimal places. Okay. So here I'm going to put the 2 in the tens place, the 4 in the ones place my decimal point, 7 in the tenths, and 6 in the hundredths. I'm going to add. Okay, I'm going to line up my decimals like buttons on a shirt. 6 with nothing is 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. 2 plus nothing is 2. And I'm going to drop my decimal point. The correct answer is B. Next question. Brent has a piece of rope that is 6 5/6 feet long. He uses 4 1/3 feet of rope to hang a tire swing. How much rope does he have left? This is a subtraction problem. 6 5/6 minus the amount that he used, which was 4 1/3. Okay? I can't subtract unless my denominators are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the second denominator, since the common denominator between both of these is 6, I can leave this first fraction the same way. The second one, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply by 2. The first fraction is going to stay the same, so I now have 6 5/6 minus the 4 is going to stay the same, and I'm going to have 4. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now I can subtract. Whole numbers, 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. And denominators stay the same. I can simplify this. Both 3 and 6 are divisible by 3. When I simplify this, I now have 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So my answer is 2.5. Number 4, a ceramic tile company uses 32 tiles for each countertop it makes. About how many countertops can it make from its last shipment of 1,648 tiles? The keyword here is about, which means they want me to estimate. I'm going to come over here and divide. I'm going to round my 1,648 to 1,600. And then I'm going to round my 32 to 30. Remember powers of 10, if they both have zeros at the end, you can go ahead and cross off to make your division easier. I'm going to do 160 divided by 3. 3 goes into 1 0 times. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. When I subtract that, I'm going to have 1 left over. I'm going to bring down my 0 to help me out. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So when I subtract, I'm still going to have 1 left over, but I have nothing left. So 53 is what I get at the top. Remember, I'm estimating. So 53 is closest to, it's about 50. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead over here and I look at my options. Option C is my closest option. Miguel has 48 coins. Of the 48 coins, 5/8 are dimes. How many of the coins are dimes? So remember our keyword here of, that means multiply. So I have my 48 times my 5/8. I'll put this over 1. I did not change the value of it. 48 divided by 1 is still 48. When I go ahead and I multiply across, 48 times 5, that is going to be 240. Bottom is 8. Now I divide. 8 goes into 24 3 times, and that power of 10, I just bring the 0 over, so my answer is 30. Next one, Kayla has t-shirt store. She sold three times as many white t-shirts as blue t-shirts. She sold a total of 48 t-shirts. How many white t-shirts did Kayla sell? So I'm going to use this formula right over here. So I have 48 is my total, right? I know for the amount of white t-shirts, it's 3 times the amount of blue t-shirts that she sold. But I don't know how many blue t-shirts she sold yet. Okay? That's the letter B. And then it's also, so 48 is made up of all the white t-shirts plus all the blue t-shirts. Okay? So I had to figure out which of these options, when I multiply it by 3 and add it by itself, would still give me 48. I know it can't possibly be 46 because I can't do 46 divided by 3 plus that amount to give me 48. So I'm going to start with the next option, 36. If 36 was the amount of white t-shirts, then 36 divided by 3, because remember, white t-shirts is 3 times as much as the blue t-shirts. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 two times. So 12 is the amount of blue t-shirts. So let's see if that works. We just did 3 times 12 is 36. 36 plus 12, 6 plus 2 is 8. That's good. And then 3 plus 1 is 4. Works there too. So that means that the total amount is 36 because I needed a number when I divide it by 3 and get that answer added again. I would need to get a total of 48. And here that works. Okay? Number 7. Dominic spent 2 3/4 hours on his project. Rachel worked 1 1/3 times as long on her project as Dominic worked. For how many hours did Rachel work on her project? So he worked 2 3/4 hours. She worked 1 1/3 times. This word means times. So I'm going to multiply 2 3/4. I'm going to multiply it by 1 1/3. I'm going to make these both improper fractions. So what I'm going to do is the whole number times the denominator. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3, that's 11, over 4. Denominator stays the same. Keep the sign. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4, over 3. Now I'm going to multiply across. 11 times 4 is 44. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 goes into 44 3 times, so that's a whole number of 3. 12 goes into 44 3 times with 8 left over out of 12. Now I can simplify this. Both of these numbers are both divisible by 4. So the whole number 3 stays the same. 8 divided by 4, 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. My answer is 3 2/3. The owner of a music store received a shipment of 1,532 CDs. The CDs came in 37 boxes. The same number of boxes were in 36 of the boxes. How many CDs were in the remaining box? So I have to divide. They're asking me to figure out how much was left over in that last box. So I'm going to divide 1,532. I'm going to divide that. I'm going to divide it by the 36 because that's how much had the same amount. So in each of the boxes, 36 of the boxes, they had the equal amount. Only in the last box, the 37th box, it had some left over. 36 can't go into 1. 36 can't go into 15. 36 can go into 153. It goes in there 4 times, okay? 4 times 36 is 144. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract. I can't do 3 minus 4, so I'm going to have to borrow. That turns into 4. This is now a 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. And then this over here turns to 0. I'm going to bring down my 2. 36 goes into 92 only 2 times. 36 times 2 is 72. When I subtract, I'm going to have 20 left over. Okay, there's nothing left for me to bring down. Therefore, my remainder is 20. The last box has 20 CDs in it. Okay, number 9. Yoku evaluates 7 divided by 1/6 by using a related multiplication expression. Which of the following expressions should he use? Remember, keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep my dividend. I'm going to change my operation from division to multiplication. 1/6, I'm going to flip it. Now it's 6/1. 6/1 is equal to just saying 6, so I can just circle B. Number 10, Tony is making small bags of bird seed from a large bag of bird seeds that weighs 11 and 16 pounds. If he puts the same amount of seeds into 6 bags, how much will each bag weigh? I'm going to take 11 and 16 and I'm going to divide it by 6. Okay? 6 can't go into 1. Okay? But 6 can go into 11 one time. 6 times 1 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. I'm going to go ahead and bring down a 1 to help me out. All right, 6 goes into 51 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract. I get 3 left over. Bring down the 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times. And remember, with dividing decimals, I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot up my decimal and bring it up. So now my answer is 1 and 86 hundredths pounds. So boys and girls, if you have any questions, please comment below, and we will go over this at WebEx at 1 p.m. Okay? And we'll do the rest of this, part 2, on Monday at 11:30 a.m.